Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, we had done search for genetic material, children. You remember we had done Griffith experiment. We talked about the transforming principle. Just showing it to you in case there are any confusions. We
Ma'am,
talked about blender experiment. Yes, what happened?
ma'am, in the half yearlies, will only term one syllabus will come.
Yes, beta, only term one syllabus will come. Okay. We talked about radioactive sulfur proteins. We did this properties of genetic material. I'm just taking up this topic so that if there's any confusion, transcription and translation, I had explained. See, central dogma of molecular biology. Reverse transcription, I already explained to you that day. DNA, Michelson and Stahl experiment is what we are going to do today. Okay, we had done till here. Fine. We talked about reverse transcription. DNA after transcription changes to RNA, but sometimes RNA changes to DNA. This is called as reverse transcription. And we also said the DNA directly cannot form proteins. It needs to be first converted to RNA and then only it can go. I talked about one virus which can undergo reverse transcription. Yes,
HIV.
That is HIV. Please remember this as a one-word answer. It will be important. Now we're going to start about DNA replication. I already told you about this. I said be careful. Watson and Crick and Michelson and Stahl, there's a difference. Watson and Crick, they just proposed this model, semi-conservative model. They just suggested that this must be happening. I had explained this figure to you last, that this is the parental DNA. See, one blue strand here, one blue strand here, one new strand is being formed. So the new DNA, the daughter DNA, has one parental strand and one new strand. Such kind of a model or proposal is what we call a semi-conservative. It is called semi-conservative because we are conserving half of the parental material. So semi, half, conserve. Yes, we are conserving. If you see this blue strand over here, one strand is parental only. So that is why this is one parental and one new strand, semi-conservative model. The proposing part, the suggestion part was given by Watson and Crick. However, the proving part, okay, that yes, this actually happens was done by Michelson and Stahl. Please don't get confused in this. Who proposed the semi-conservative model? It's Watson and Crick. But who proved this model? If this question comes, then be careful. It is Michelson and Stahl. We immediately go for this option. We should not do that. We should be careful. Fine. Now, DNA replication, we are going to start. Before DNA replication, let us understand about the Michelson and Stahl experiment. They prepared two culture media of E. coli. See, one media, two media of E. coli. One preparation contains ammonium chloride salt, where we have a heavy isotope of nitrogen, that is N15. See over here in the first speaker, it is very clear to you. N15. So this was incorporated in both the strands of the bacterial DNA. So we incorporated this nitrogen 15, the heavy nitrogen. Normally it is nitrogen 14, but here what we are taking is heavy nitrogen. And we have incorporated this heavy nitrogen into both the strands of the bacterial DNA. And we saw the DNA has also become heavy because of this heavy nitrogen. The other preparation had this one, nitrogen 14 salts. So this was also incorporated in both the strands of DNA and became lighter. So if nitrogen 14 was incorporated, DNA became lighter. Here nitrogen 15 heavy isotope of nitrogen is incorporated, DNA becomes heavier. Then these two types of DNA we have separated by centrifugation. We have centrifuged them in cesium chloride density gradient. We have maintained the density gradient, difference in densities with the help of cesium chloride. This is what we have done. If you can see over here, density gradient has been maintained with the help of cesium chloride. Let me explain the experiment. I'll revise it again with you. Then we take cells from the heavier one, that is the nitrogen 15 wala medium, and transfer it to this medium. We'll take cells from here, the heavy one, the one which has heavy nitrogen, and we'll shift it towards this one, the one which contains nitrogen 14. After about 20 minutes, because we know that in one generation lifespan E. coli here, only 20 minutes. So after one generation, that is after 20 minutes, they isolated and centrifuged the DNA. Again, the DNA was isolated and centrifuged. Now we have mixed beta, remember. Some nitrogen 15, from here we have taken cells and put them here. So it's a mixture of 14 and 15. And we saw that the density was neither heavy. Now the new DNA which we got was neither as heavy as nitrogen 15 nor as light as nitrogen 14. It was somewhere intermediate between both of them. That means it was a hybrid. It was somewhere between both of them. This shows that a newly formed DNA, one strand is the old type. See, we had mixed what? Nitrogen 15 to nitrogen 14. So why did we get an intermediate hybrid? Because one strand must be of nitrogen 15 and one strand must be of nitrogen 14. One is the parental strand. Okay, the newly formed DNA, one strand is old type and one strand is new types. So one is old, one is new. This proves which replication? Semi-conservative replication. Which replication are we proving? See over here.
Semi-conservative.
If you see this is red color given over here. See, one strand in the new DNA is red. Nitrogen 14 has been shown by yellow. So when we are mixing this, see, this was the original one, the nitrogen 15 red one. This was the original nitrogen 14, the yellow one. We have mixed both of them. Now the parental DNA is this, both of them. So the new daughter DNA that we are getting, one is the strand of nitrogen 15 and the other is the strand of nitrogen 14. So this is semi-replication. What is this replication called as? Semi-replication. Taylor and colleagues performed similar experiments on Vicia faba beans. They did the same thing, same experiment. They were wanting to prove the semi-conservative theory. They used radioactive thymidine. Now they are using radioactive thymidine so that they can detect, they can see the distribution of the new DNA in the chromosomes. We want to see the new DNA, how it looks like. So for that, we've taken the help of a radioactive material, and in this case, it is thymidine. Now here also it was proved that DNA in chromosomes replicates semi-conservatively. See this. These are the chromatids. Okay. We have labeled what? We labeled with them with thymidine. See beta, these are the new chromosomes which are formed. One part is labeled here. One part is labeled thymidine is removed. This one. Now what is happening? One with this, one with this. So these are the new daughter chromosomes that you're getting. One is the parental one from here and one is formed new. Similarly, one is the parental one and one is formed new. What beans are these? What beans are these? What is the name of these beans, beta?
Vicia faba.
Yes. See, beta, since you have more of MCQs, I would suggest do not go into details of the experiments. Just remember the materials which are used. Like in the first experiment, Okay, we had taken for maintaining gradient, we had taken what? This is what you need to remember. What was it? Tell me, cesium. I had told you about it.
Chloride.
Yes. And just keep in mind about the main things that we have. These experiments as such, this time we are not subjective. Even if we are subjective, we'll not be going for detail about experiments for sure. So just remember the main things that we had. Cesium chloride, so DNA was maintained. And second case we took was, we are doing experiment on which beans? Yes, which beans we had just taken. I just asked you, you answered also.
Visia faba.
Yes, Vistia faba. And here we are using which radioactive material? Thymidine. So just be careful about this, and also be careful about this. 20 minutes. Lifespan, E. coli. Only one generation is 20 minutes. So these kind of small things is what you remember. Otherwise, don't go into details about this. Now we come to a very important part. We are going to start the chapter, main topic, sorry, DNA replication. DNA replication starts at a point which is called this origin of replication, that is known as ORI. This point is called ORI, O-R-I, origin of replication. Okay, beta, see over here. If I take this, you will see at certain points O is written over here. See over here, O. So replication always starts at these points. They are known as origin, or they are called ORI. A unit of replication with one origin is called a replicon. If I talk about this from here to here, from here, that's all. Let me cut this. Okay, just give me 1 second. Let me cut this. Chalo beta, let me cut this from here. Now this piece has how many ORAs? See, I'm cutting it from here. Think that this is one piece. How many ORAs are there?
1.
One. See the other side over here also. If I cut it from here, how many ORAs are there?
1.
One. So such a piece, a unit, which has only one ORI point is called as a replicon. Please remember this also. Okay, this unit which has only one O site is called a replicon. Now, the first thing which happens during replication is unwinding process beta. सबसे पहले hydrogen bonds will break down, and this breaking of hydrogen bonds takes place in the presence of an enzyme helicase. Okay, what is the enzyme which will help to break the bonds?
Helicase.
Yes, beta, please remember this is the first thing. You had a strand of DNA. This is ORI site. There is only one ORI site at this unit. So what should I call this unit as?
Replicon.
Very good. Very good. It is called as a replicon. Now, these two strands were there. See over here, unwinding has started now. Unwinding has started over here. Yes, unwinding has started over here. So ये देखो दूर दूर हो रहे हैं strands, because what bonds are breaking? What bonds were there?
Hydrogen bonds.
And this breaking of bonds is being done with the help of which enzyme?
Helicase.
Can you see this blue structure inside? This blue one. Okay.
Yes.
What is this enzyme?
Helicase.
Yes, beta, this is a helicase. So first of all, there are three things which all of us should know. First is DNA replication starts at a point which is known as
ORI.
yes, beta. What is a replicon?
ORI site.
ORI site. So one ORI site, if a unit has, we are going to call it as
Replicon.
And what is the third thing I've talked about, which
Helicase.
Yes. ठीक है बेटा? All three things are clear. Ori, everybody knows?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody knows what is a replicon?
Yes.
And we are clear about the enzyme helicase function. These three things. Now let's go further. See. Here, this was a double-stranded DNA. Bonds have now started breaking. तो ये देखिए थोड़ा थोड़ा दूर चला गया है. Unwinding हो गया. We call this as unwinding. Unwinding of the DNA molecule at a point forms a Y-shaped structure. Okay, listen. Now unwinding will take place, so it will form a Y-shaped structure, and this is known as replication fork. What is it called?
Replication fork.
Replication fork.
Supposing I forget about this part, हाँ, इसको छोड़ दीजिए, इसको भी छोड़ दीजिए. यहाँ पे unwinding हो गया है, so this looks like one arm of Y. This is another arm of Y, and पीछे we are going to have this. This is a replication fork. Something like a Y-shaped structure. देखो बेटा, this is one arm of Y, this is another arm of Y, and यहाँ पे एक पीछे straight line अगर हम मान ले, so this is like a Y-shaped structure. This is known as replication fork. So very quickly, this was a small unit of DNA that had only one ORI site. ORI means origin of.
Replication.
Replication.
This strand, small piece of DNA which contains only one ORI site is called.
Replicon.
Yes. If you see such strong hydrogen bonds are there over here. Here the hydrogen bonds are broken now. They're going to break. See, they've got separated. दूर दूर चले गए. Breaking of hydrogen bonds because of the presence of which enzyme?
Helicase.
Helicase.
And after this helicase has done its work, unwinding has started taking place. ये जो coil structure था ये खुल जाएगा बेटा. So this looks like a Y-shaped structure called
Replication fork.
Replication fork.
This is called as a replication fork. Now, see, this is how a replication fork looks like, Y-shaped structure. Now it's looking like a Y-shaped structure. These strands have got separated now. Okay? ये ऊपर वाला ये जो strand था ये अलग हो गया, नीचे वाला अलग हो गया. So these strands are separated now. See this. And each strand will act as a template or a parental strand. ये red वाला जो दिख रहा है बेटा, red वाला. This is your parental strand. I mean, I'm talking about this strand. ये अलग हो गया, ऊपर चला गया, ये नीचे हो गया. So these strands are known as template strands, or they are the parental strands. They are which strands?
Parental strand.
Yes, parental. Just think that these red ones are parental strands. Also, one thing always to remember, the DNA always replicates in 5' to 3' direction. Always from 5' to
3 prime.
all the deoxyribonucleoside triphosphates. Okay, all triphosphates, remember, they could be any of the triphosphates. Just remember triphosphates. They act as substrate and they provide energy for polymerization. Now we need to add on more units, beta. More units. For that, polymerization is needed. The energy is going to come from triphosphates. Who will give the energy?
Triphosphates.
Okay, now see this. I'll be explaining this to you very soon. These are free nucleotides lying here. I'll come back to the structure. First thing that happens is, this was already there. This red thing is already there. सबसे पहले क्या होता है? A small RNA primer is synthesized in the presence of an enzyme primase. Let me explain it over here. These are the two strands. Okay. See these. These are the parental DNA. These dark blue ones which you can see over here. These are parental DNA. They've already got separated. So ये fork-like structure तो है. This is a replication fork. ये वाला part ऐसे दिखा दिया है. सबसे पहले बेटा, we'll have this. Can you see this pink color thing over here? This is primase. What is this?
Primase.
Primase.
Now this is an enzyme. What will this enzyme do? It'll attach a small RNA primer. If you can see a small piece of RNA which is called primer. It is called primer because वो सबसे पहले attach होता है. So this primase will attach this small red piece of RNA. If you see over here, this red piece is RNA. This is the first one to be attached. to start with. So we are going to call it as a primer. What is this called?
Primer.
RNA primer.
RNA primer. Now, and who has helped this to synthesize this? What was this enzyme, pink one?
Primase.
Primase.
So after the replication fork is made, the first thing which is done is primase becomes active. And what does it do? It synthesizes a primase, a small piece of RNA. If you see, this is over here. Now, there is another enzyme. Its name is DNA-dependent DNA polymerase. What is its name? DNA polymerase. What is the name of the enzyme?
DNA
RNA
polymerase.
polymerase.
Now, in the presence of this enzyme, many nucleotides will join with one another. See, they are joining with one another. If you can see from here, let me talk about this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So many pieces of nucleotides. They are all joining together. Okay, and they're forming a long chain. ये वाला chain जो दिख रहा है अंदर वाला ये वाला light blue colored structure. Okay. सबसे पहले primer attach होगा बच्चा. And then what starts is this. Another more of polynucleotides will start attaching. Okay. So this is done with the help of which enzyme?
DNA polymerase.
DNA polymerase.
It is DNA polymerase because it is attaching poly. It is attaching many nucleotide pieces to form a chain. देखो एक new strand बन गया. You had this dark blue strand. This was your parental strand. इस पे primer attach होते ही you can see this is number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So many small pieces of polynucleotide bases have attached themselves and एक नया strand और chain बन गया है. This is your new strand now. This is your new strand. During replication, one strand is formed as a continuous stretch in 5' to 3' direction. This is continuous synthesis and this strand is called as a leading strand. ये वाला देखो बेटा. 5'. Can you see 5' over here? So ये वाला strand बन रहा था ऐसे. From 5' to which direction are we going? What is this?
3 prime.
3 prime.
This is formed continuously बेटा. Okay, continuously बनता जाएगा. कोई break नहीं है इसमें. देखो one strand, one piece of ये one basis का strand लगा, then 2, then 3, then 4. Continuous synthesis हो जाता है. ये सबसे पहले बन के ready हो जाता है. So that is why this strand is called as leading strand. What is it called?
Leading strand.
Leading strand.
However, the other strand, जो हमारा ये देखो बेटा, this is formed in small stretches. This is formed in small stretches. ये पूरा एक combined piece में नहीं बनेगा. Let me show you over here if it is more clear over here. Yes, you can see it here more clearly. If you see, this is your continuous strand over here. कहीं पे भी breakage नहीं दिख रहा है आपको. This is your leading strand. यहाँ पे देखना बेटा ध्यान से. 1, 2, 3. ये प्राइमर है. यहाँ पे ये जगह खाली है. फिर 4th आ रहा है. See this space? Can you see over here? So this is discontinuous. Continuity में नहीं बनते हैं some strands. Such kind of strands over here also you can see this. यहाँ पे टूट गया है. They are formed in small pieces. पूरा एक continuous strand नहीं है. Bases are attaching themselves, but in small pieces. And each piece or each fragment is called Okazaki fragment. What is it called?
Okazaki fragment.
Fragment.
And this synthesis is the discontinuous synthesis. It's not continuous. And this strand क्योंकि ये धीरे धीरे बन रहा है, टूट रहा है, बन रहा है, टूट रहा है, बन रहा है. So complete होगा देर में. The entire strand will take place in a little longer time. So that is why this strand is known as a lagging strand. Lagging means जो पीछे छूट गया. This is the lagging strand. You can think about a child who is running for 3 kilometers continuously. And then we talk about a child who is running for 5.5 kilometers and फिर break हो गया, फिर एक दूसरा piece आके जुड़ गया, फिर रुक गया. So this is, it will take time. इसको ज़्यादा देर लगेगा. ये पीछे रह जाएगा, lagging है. That is why this strand is known as lagging strand. And this synthesis is known as what synthesis? Discontinuous synthesis. What is the synthesis called?
Discontinuous synthesis.
Okay. So now we have already got this. This was your replication fork. Now we have this dark blue one. This is a parental strand. More of nucleotide bases will come and attach here so that एक और strand बन जाए और ये भी double stranded DNA हो जाए, ये भी double stranded हो जाए. This is the main purpose that we are doing it. Okay. Now see, यहाँ पे अगर आप देखो, so this is your parental strand. ये blue वाला जो दिखा है dark blue, and ये जो red वाले बन रहे हैं ये नया strand है जो ये वाला light blue which has been shown for here. However, if you see, both of them will not go together. One is the leading strand over here, if you see, and this is your, which one is the leading strand and one is the lagging strand. Continuous and discontinuous पे depend करेगा. And each piece, each fragment that you're getting here, ये देखो बेटा एक fragment है, एक fragment ये है, एक fragment ये है. What are these fragments called?
Okazaki fragments.
Because it was this gentleman Ryaji Okazaki who saw them for the first time. Otherwise, we were assuming कि ये तो continuous एक strand बन जाता. It was Ryaji Okazaki who saw this for the first time कि नहीं ये दोनों तरफ continuous नहीं होता है. In one strand we have small pieces, small fragments. So he identified them first. So we call them as Okazaki fragments. Now, the Okazaki fragments are then joined together to form a new strand by an enzyme DNA ligase. We all know that joining का काम हमेशा DNA ligase ही करता है. So all these strands will be joined with the help of what? Which enzyme? See this?
DNA ligase.
See, this was your lagging strand. It was in pieces. Now who's come into the scene? This enzyme. What is the name of this enzyme, children?
DNA ligase.
It will start joining these strands, these fragments which were there. The joining part will be done by this. And now this new strand, of course, it is the lagging strand. Fragments ko jod karke strand to ban gaya. And this is called as the lagging strand. If a wrong base is introduced in the new strand, DNA polymerase can do proofreading. Chaliye वापस चलते हैं. See, now we have more of nitrogenous bases combined. But now they're saying if there is a wrong base which comes, what do you mean by a wrong base? Wrong base. Then proofreading DNA polymerase is going to do. But what do I mean by a wrong base? Beta, whenever synthesis will take place, we'll have complementary bases, ना? अगर parental strand पे A है adenine, तो उसके सामने नया वाले strand पे कौन सा base आना चाहिए? A binds with adenine binds. And if it is C, then what should be the base in the new strand here?
G.
Which one?
G.
Only then we'll have hydrogen bonds. तभी तो double stranded DNA बनेगा. Supposing A के सामने G आ गया, then will the bond take place? Bond बनेगा?
No, ma'am.
No. Such a base is called as a wrong base. अगर गलती से यहाँ पे bases लगते समय complementary base नहीं लगा, कोई गलत base लग गया, so that checking part, that proofreading part, DNA polymerase will do. Which enzyme will do this?
DNA polymerase.
DNA polymerase. E. coli completes its replication within 18 minutes. In eukaryotes, the replication of DNA takes place as a S phase of the cell cycle. I'll come to that. Failure in cell division after DNA replication results in polyploidy. That's a different thing. First, let me talk about replication process only. Okay. Chali, very quick. I'm going to have it again. I'll be talking about the new DNA strands and everything. We are doing DNA replication. Let's start from this. This is the main topic we are going to do. The point where replication is going to start. What is that point called as?
Ora.
A unit of replication which contains only one ORI site is called?
Replicon.
The unwinding, the breaking of hydrogen bonds in the presence of which enzyme?
Helicase.
Helicase.
Yes, Sudha, it is helicase. So after the unwinding, we'll get a Y-shaped structure which is known as?
Replication fork.
The parental strand of templates and DNA replicate in which direction?
5' to 3'.
So once they are separated, you can see these bases are being added up. See, we are showing complementary bases to you. Adenine के सामने thymine आएगा, cytosine, guanine. What function did I tell you of DNA polymerase? Tell me quickly.
Proofreading.
Checks for wrong bonds.
See this. It's checking over here. DNA polymerase is here. It keeps on moving. देखो ये चेक करता रहेगा सब ठीक बेसिस लग रहा है कि नहीं लग रहा है. यहाँ पे you see all these are bases बेटा. ये सारे bases आ गए थे. ये original parental DNA के base हैं. And now new bases will come and keep attaching complementary वाला. So that यहाँ भी double stranded हो जाएगा, यहाँ भी double stranded हो जाएगा. सबसे पहले this is attached primer. Which enzyme helps in the formation?
Primase.
Primase.
Now we have got two kinds of strands. One is the leading strand. In leading strand, we have continuous synthesis or discontinuous synthesis.
Continuous synthesis.
Continuous.
Very good, very good. The other strand is called
Lagging strand.
Okazaki.
in the lagging strand, we get small, small pieces. They are actually fragments if you see them. What are these fragments called?
Okazaki
Okazaki
fragment.
fragments.
Okazaki fragments. Now, Okazaki fragments have to be combined to form a strand. Although we are going to call it as a lagging strand, but of course, strand to banega beta. So, which enzyme is going to do this?
DNA ligase.
DNA ligase.
Ligase is going to combine all these small fragments and convert it into a strand, which we call as the lagging strand. So one side we've got a leading strand, one side we've got a lagging strand, continuous synthesis, discontinuous synthesis. Please remember the role of all the enzymes here. So DNA polymerase is going to now do the proofreading. If there is a wrong base, it's going to remove it. Wrong base in a sense, remember that with adenine we should have what?
Thymine.
Thymine. And the cytosine you should have. So DNA replication, nucleochromosomes, unzipping of DNA. When I say unzipping of DNA, it means unwinding, opening the coils. Then complementary base pairs will attach, and then replication will take place and two DNA strands will be made. So from one parental DNA, you got how many DNAs? Double stranded. We took one parental double stranded DNA, and after replication, we got how many DNAs?
2.
Yes, we got 2 over here, if you see. See. This was the one blue one. These new bases are attached. So one more strand is adding up. So from one DNA, we are getting 2. So copy ban raha hai. 1 ka 2. Replicate ho gaya. That is why this is called replication. Acha, in the new parental DNA, how many strands are there of the parental DNA?
1.
Yes, very good. There is only one strand. So you think this is, which kind of a replication is this? What would you call it as?
Semi-conservative replication.
Very good. It is semi-conservative replication. Replication तो हो रहा है बेटा. DNA strand replicate कर रहा है, अपने जैसा copy बना रहा है. But पूरा 100% parental DNA नहीं जा रहा है. If you look at the new strand of DNA, one strand is the parental strand and the other strand is the new strand. नए वाले bases आके combine हुआ था. We said कि bases they come and wind up. A के सामने T लग जाएगा, C के सामने G लग जाएगा, and लगते जाएंगे. A long chain of bases that will form your new strand. So this will be the new strand. So we're going to have one parental strand, one new strand. So we should call this replication as what?
Semi-conservative.
Semi-conservative replication.
We have a minute or so. Replication starts at a point which is known as ORI. What is ORI?
Origin of replication.
Origin of replication.
Very good. Name the enzyme which first helps in attaching the RNA primer.
Primase.
Primase.
Name the small pieces which we get in the lagging strand because of discontinuous.
Okazaki fragment.
Okazaki fragments.
Name the enzyme which binds the Okazaki fragments to form the strand.
DNA ligase.
DNA ligase.
Okay, name the strand which is formed by Okazaki fragments.
Lagging strand.
Lagging strand.
Very good. Lagging strand. After unwinding, we get a Y-shaped structure. What is that Y-shaped structure called as?
Replication fork.
Replication fork. There is an enzyme which ensures that the correct bases are put opposite to each other and there is no wrong base which comes. अगर एक भी wrong base आ जाएगा तो bond बीच में नहीं बनेगा, strand continuous नहीं हो पाएगा. So who is this enzyme? Who is responsible for this?
DNA polymerase.
DNA polymerase. So we talked about how many enzymes in general. If we talk about replication, tell me quickly how many enzymes were involved. First enzyme we talked about was, yes,
4.
you remember this enzyme helicase?
Yes,
Function
ma'am.
was, yes, its function was to break down what?
Hydrogen bonds.
So first was helicase. Then we had this next one coming into scene, primase, which was associated with what? Formation and attaching of the primer. Then we had DNA polymerase, which attaches the nucleotides one after the another, one after the another. It will help in attaching. DNA polymerase, it has another function as well. I'll come to that. Then we have this DNA ligase and another function of DNA polymerase. DNA polymerase दोनों काम कर रहा है बेटा. नाइट्रोजन बेसिस को लगाने में हेल्प भी करेगा एक के बाद एक and check भी करता रहेगा that the bases which are being attached are attached in the proper sequence. If there it's kind of a proofreading you can see. So please remember all the name of the enzymes which are involved in replication and also remember that this is a semi-conservative replication. ये blue वाला जो है ये original है और ये जो light blue है ये new है. So are we clear with DNA replication बेटा? Yes. We basically had a piece of DNA, वो unzip हो गया, ये देखो Y-shaped structure है, फिर complementary base pairs attach हो गए, replication हो गया, and how many you get 2 new DNAs. Okay? चलो बेटा, let's meet on Monday now. Okay? God bless you all. We'll continue with the same chapter. Okay, bye beta. Bye. God
Thank
bless
you, ma'am.
Bye beta.